Throughout the world, we've seen massive changes. A progressive degradation of the landscape through storms, a lot of older trees coming down, and a lot more floods. There's less snow cover in some years, maybe extremes in other years. So it's definitely a lot of things happening together. We're finding that around the world, the ability for those systems to recover is the issue. I've worked in the tropics and seen the impacts of deforestation. You can feel the impacts on the local climate. You lose this capacity to regulate. In Northern Australia, I've witnessed the extensive dieback of mangroves. That is much larger than it has been in the past. You start getting a cumulative effect. With this climatic change that we're seeing in these extreme events, that is going to have a very dramatic impact on ecosystems in the future, and it already is. Things are changing all the time. You might not see it because it happens often over a very long period of time. So that's where the satellite record is so great, because you can pick these things up. An increasing number and diversity of satellites have been launched. We can use that information to understand how the land surface has changed. This record is increasing. It becomes more valuable as time goes on. Where else do you have a permanent record of what's been happening? That's it, really, at a global scale. You can start to look at how the climate is interacting with what's happening on the land surface, where the greenhouse gases are coming from deforestation, agriculture, urbanization, and it gives you that connection between what's happening and what we're seeing in the atmosphere. The CCI program has been fantastic in the way that it has brought together different components of the Earth system, and I think that's the way forward. You have to treat the system as a complete whole, look at all the interactions, the feedback, understand it, make sure that what you've got is correct, and then be able to then understand what the future might be through effective modelling. You need that long time series. You need to look at these cross-links. You need to have the ability to reanalyze this data, so we need to make sure that we do have the resources to push that forward. In varying ways, the ESA CCI feeds into the IPCC and other elements linked to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. CCI Biomass is focusing on generating global maps of the amount of carbon in forests around the world. And this information is really used to help to validate some of the global climate models. This ability to collaborate on a global scale is fundamental. All the time, climate is changing, so it's almost like a race. We need to address, first of all, measuring it, assessing the uncertainty, make sure we're happy with it, and then feeding that into policy, and that takes time, but we don't have time. I've experienced many of the world's environments, and what I've witnessed quite dramatically is that those changes are perceptibly happening really quickly now. The satellite record over the last 30 or 40 years has captured these changes in fantastic detail. This information is really critical for us to make the future decisions about mankind, but also the biodiversity and the whole function of life on Earth. We know it's happening, we know it's there, and we need to be much faster at reacting to make much more rapid decisions that are informed and are based on solid science. The pace of the change is almost faster than the science that we can do to understand it. There needs to be this capacity to respond urgently. What happens in 50 years' time? Will this landscape still be sinking in carbon? Maybe the tree species may respond differently to climate. Maybe you've got different biodiversity here, different pollinators, things are changing. We need to be able to understand the direction of change, how quickly it would be, and the magnitude of it in a way that is useful for future generations. To create this pathway that addresses the problems of today and takes into a really positive future for both ourselves but all the future generations of decades or centuries to come. What we do now is critical to that future. We have to proactively do something about how we use the land, how we treat the environment, and how we can really work together with nature to support life in general. It can be done.